All right, Gabe, it's an honor to talk to you. I've been following you for many years now, and everything that you're doing with regenerative agriculture, we need to spread the word. We need to get it out there. I'm a home gardener. You talk to gardeners at scale, farmers, etc. When you think about that on a very small scale, like a home gardener, what can we do in our own little way to start to really build momentum and, not tilling that soil so much?
Yeah, well, thank you. It's great to be with you. So, I tell people that the 6 principles that we apply on large landscapes, the same thing can be applied in their garden. I'm doing it in my garden. In fact, oftentimes when I have tours of our ranch, the first place I take those farmers is to the garden because I can show them their principles. First principle, are you gardening in your context? By that I mean, are you growing species in your garden that fit your environment? That's first. Secondly is minimize disturbance. Now, I realize a lot of gardeners want to go out there and till, but that's actually negatively impacting the health of the biology, their water infiltration, and believe it or not, it negatively influences the nutrient density of those vegetables they're going to produce. Next principle is armor on the soil. Always keep the soil covered. So whether you're using a mulch, I like to use alfalfa hay because alfalfa hay is readily broken down by biology. Earthworms and microbiology consume that, cycle the nutrients. The next principle is diversity. So you can have your rows in a garden of monoculture so it's easy to harvest. But are you putting, for instance, your sweet corn, do you have a row of peas on one side, which is a legume to help cycle nitrogen for that corn,
Right.
or maybe a row of green beans on the other side?
Right.
So don't put just a square block of one thing. Have that diversity there. Always have flowering species. I like to have plenty of flowers to attract the pollinators. And you need to have diversity to provide a home for all the predator insects that are going to eat those pest insects. The next principle is living root in the soil as long as possible.
Yep.
So depending on where you garden, northern environment, southern environment, make sure you have things growing for as long as possible. Once you harvest the vegetables, go in with some cover crops. Plant some buckwheat, something flowering to attract these pollinators. Add diversity also. And the final principle is animal and insect integration. And people often say, well, I can't have animals in my garden. Well, your garden's full of animals. You just can't see them. It's the microbiology, it's the earthworms in the soil. Make sure you're providing a home and habitat for those and all of the insects.
And you talk about 1 teaspoon of soil has more life in it than what
there's more microorganisms in a teaspoonful of healthy soil than there are people on this planet.
Oh my goodness.
Yet how many of us as gardeners think of feeding that array of biology in the soil?
Fantastic. I have one last question for you, which is, we're impatient as gardeners. We want the results right away. Mother Nature has time on her side. She does her thing over the course of hundreds and thousands and millions of years. How do we accelerate that part of it and still live in sync with Mother Nature?
And the beauty of it is, by applying these 6 principles, when we have this diverse array of different plants, we're accelerating biological time. Because if you were to only plant a monoculture, it'd take you 20 years to do what we can do in 1 year with a diverse array of plants.
It's fascinating. Well, thank you so much, Gabe. Again, an honor to talk to you and appreciate you answering my questions.
My pleasure. Thank you.